Hello and welcome back to Let It Go with Anna. Now, I'm a little bit fed up today because I've just had an interaction with a person and they're telling me that the doctors have just diagnosed them with this label. So it's just inspired me now to come and do a talk about labels. And I know this person relatively well-ish, yeah? And they are normally so happy, so upbeat. And today I've seen them and they're so down in the dumps, and it's because of this label. Now, I've just spent 10 minutes explaining to just carry on with how you normally are, because labels don't define us. So when you are told something, yeah, it happens in childhood as well, and it plays out in your adult life. When you are told something, negative or positive, it works both ways, and it can be taken to excess in both ways, and it can look pretty and ugly in both ways. But when you are told something that you then start to believe that. If it's been said to you in a way deep enough to penetrate into your psychological psyche, then you'll start to believe this, and then you'll start to act this out, and then you will always have this. It's like a companion now. So if you're told that you have ADHD, then you're going to start to think, oh, am I being too energetic in doing this? Am I being too forceful in that? Or maybe I need to slow down because, I've got ADHD. Or maybe I need to, you start to live to the label. And I just think, like, drop the label and know that even if you do have ADHD, it's not you. So you don't have to live your whole life around ADHD, because then you'll just attract more ADHD things and ADHD people and ADHD habits and ADHD cautions and you get the picture. So I'm just like, no, still be your fun, energetic, bubbly self. Don't let this drop your aura and start leading you into a spiraling road of becoming not who you are, because who you are is lovely. If you're diabetic, then cut down on your sugars, go to the gym. You can always improve your label, but your label isn't you. And living by that, like a mantra, is just, in my opinion, it's not good for anybody. So another label example I'm going to give you, Anna's analogy to it, is if you are feeling depressed and you let everybody know you've been diagnosed with depression, people are going to treat you according. They're going to think, well, I don't want to say this to Anna because it will trigger her depression. I don't want to say, I don't want to invite her out to this place because she's probably not in the mood. She might not be feeling it. I don't want to, argue with her because after I leave, she might go into a deeper depression. So you're having people treat you with these caution gloves, and it might not be what you want. You might want to go to that party. You might not be feeling depressed that day. You might actually be all right, and the depression was only because of, you lost your job, or you can't find your way out of a situation, and it just hanged around for a minute because you're just reflecting. It's not really depression. Or you're in deep thoughts. It's not really depression. So I don't know. Maybe this is me. That's why I'm making this video short today. Let me know what you think. But labels, I don't find them helpful. I don't think it's good for mental health. I mean, it's okay to know that this condition has come around, but I believe that things come around, things can go. Yeah? If you go to your friend's house, you're not going to stay there forever. You're going to go home. So if you want them to go, work on it and do the necessary things that will alleviate and eradicate your label. But if you're going to stay, like, think of a label like a house. You've walked through the door and you're just making yourself at home. You've been told, that's your label over there. Get over there. And you've just gone through the door and you're just there. You're living there now. You eat, drink, sleep, you do everything there in that house. That's your label. Oh, it just makes me cringe because it doesn't have to be that way. And I really want to send the message out that stop living in that label's house. There's a big wide world outside of your label's door. So, you know, I hope that perspective sheds a bit more light on it. But like I said, I'm not going into this for long, but it's just something that I had to quickly touch upon just for a starting point. I mean, maybe I'll go into this more in depth later on if you guys like this and want to hear more. But, you know, I've got my disclaimers and I'm not a health professional and I'm not a psychiatrist. But, you know, I've got a good level of psychology and I am a rational thinking person, and there's some things that I receive and there's some things I send to sender. No, there's some things I receive and there are some things I send back to sender. So that's one of them. You're not labeling me and I'm not going to be limited and I'm not going to believe and have this new belief system and live my life by it. So I'm only attracting that label's aura. There's no gifts there. Being on medication your whole life is not a gift. Feeling down every day because you've got this label is not a gift. People avoiding you in a respectful way because of your label is not a gift. So you can keep your present. Thank you. So yeah. Another example of having labels. Say like you are a high flyer, a high achiever, you know, you're good at what you do. Say like you've got loads of skills, lots of talents, you know, you're multi-talented, and people around you know this, whether you're running a business or you're just good at something you do at home, and people know this, yeah? You are going to have that label of, oh yeah, you know, ask Anna, she's really good at that. Oh yeah, you know, talk to Anna, she can tell you about that. You know, you're going to get a lot of highlights for the things you're good at. And after a while, people always coming to you, wanting a piece of you, is going to become draining. And you're going to think to yourself, like, why am I always attracting this? Why am I always getting this? And it's because of that label. It's because you have become known now for all these things that you can do. And everybody wants a slice. Now, for everybody else, that's really great because they're getting what they need. And you know, they've got someone they can turn to. They don't even look at Google, the yellow pages, another alternative. It's just straight to Anna. Yeah, just using myself for an example. But what about you, the person? Is that not draining? Is that not gonna eventually wear you down? And then how do you fix that? So if you don't have, you know, your boundaries in place and have the ability to say no to things, you're going to be like a pawn, torn left to right, up and down in everybody else's direction. That label of being a super mum, or that label of being, you know, a really good businesswoman, then you're going to attract all the energies around that. And it's good to help and give back, yes, but it might not be what you want to be known for. You might need support somewhere else, and you source your supports. You go on Google, you look through the yellow pages, you find another alternative. But other people, you're like a shortcut, you know, and you don't want to be that. So that is another label in positive scenarios, because, you know, labels are not always for being down and having an issue. Labels can even be when you're just super fantastic, or, you know, you've been blessed and born with multi-talents and everybody wants a slice. So when you can do a lot of things, it's good to be modest. I'm not saying dumb yourself down and don't, you know, put out there that, you know, I can do these things, but you want to just keep a balance. Like, life is balance. You want to keep an eye and a balance on these things, that you're not doing too much. And because, you know, labels are pressure, positive and negative. They are pressure. It's something you have to now live up to. It's something now that you have to, you know, watch your every move. Like, oh, because I have this label of da 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 da, I don't want to be seen doing this, and I don't want to be, you know, seen doing that. You need to just be yourself. This is where personality disorders come in, and people, oh, you know, 1 minute I'm this person, then I'm that person, and then it's just because you're not just embracing yourself. It's like, no thanks, you know, I can't do that today, I'm not in the mood. Or there's something else that can help you, like, can you find an alternative? Or, oh, I'm not that good at da 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 da, I learned this on blah blah. Sometimes you have to give people the tools. You can't always give them the answers, because the same answer you give them today, they're coming back tomorrow for you to answer another one of their questions. So what's that saying about, if somebody's hungry, you don't give them fish. You don't give them a fish dinner. You teach them how to fish. That comes in, I think, is very relevant to this labels topic, because you're doing yourself some justice, and people will respect you when they know that you're not there at their beck and call, and you are pointing them. You're not just, you know, closing the door on them, but you're pointing them in another direction where they can get help. And you're also teaching them psychologically, don't come to me for everything. I'm not your superpower. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there, because labels, you know, in my opinion, they're not good. So yeah, learn to know that you can do something, or you have something, but it just doesn't define you. It just doesn't make you that thing. It just doesn't. So take care. Stay blessed.